Hey guys, my name is Girish, the host for Back2Basics, another week. I hope you're enjoying all the episodes that we've done so far, and we're releasing every day of the week. That is crazy, isn't it? So guys, today we're going to be talking to you about branding and how branding is very important to a lot of different people. What do you say to people? How do you say to people? That is one person that I brought in my show to explain to us how do we brand ourselves from a business point of view, from your point of view, and we'll just go in detail and back to basics on that. How about that? So the guest that we have today is Virgilia, and I hope she does justice to this episode, and I know she will because I've talked to her several times and she's a rocket, I'm telling you. So guys, Virgilia, how are you? And thanks for coming on Back to Basics.
Thank you so much, Girish. It's a pleasure to be here. I literally just landed yesterday from Europe after a 16-hour trip with all the restrictions in place. There are many changes at all airports. However, I'm very happy to be here, and especially now having a bit more, I think, of understanding of how branding operates outside of the United States.
That's right.
In the United States, we are so very precise and so passionate about our branding. So I was quite enticed to see how branding is being perceived in Europe. So,
very cool. Thank you so much. I know that the schedule has been very tight between you and me, and we made it happen. So thank you so much for coming on my show. So before we go into the details of branding and who you are and what you are and why you are, what does Back to Basic mean to you?
Back to Basics means that we must take in consideration the true values from the inception of the world. I think what made the humanity continue, whether on a personal level or professional level for each of us, was a very strong understanding of what our foundation is, the fundamentals that drive the world, right? And I feel that with the power of social media and then so much, I would say, distraction out there, we sometimes lose touch with what truly the core values and the fundamentals of success and happiness are. So to me, Back to Basics is just about reinforcing the idea that we have to start with the fundamentals.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much for coming on my show again. And thanks for explaining from your point of view what does Back to Basic mean. So thank you again. So Virgilia, before we get into the details, let's explain to the audience and my listeners, who are you and why did I bring you here? It seems like that no matter, I followed you on Instagram and you're like almost everywhere. So let's explain to people who you are and what you do.
It's funny, a lot of people say you are everywhere. So originally from Europe, I grew up in Romania, I studied in Germany, and then right now, United States has been my home for over 20 years. However, I do go back to Europe a lot. I love to travel. So I would say I'm a global citizen. I speak about 4 or 5 languages. So that gives me the opportunity to interact with people in their own universe and kind of create that emotional connection. I study actually German and French, and once I moved to the United States, I left behind my career in TV and teaching at the university, and I entered the fashion world. So after 1 decade with Versace and Dolce Gabbana, also a quick stint with Damon John from Shark Tank, I started to consult independently. And last year during pandemic, I decided that I must take a very precise direction with my work. So VD Global Partners, my company, started based on an understanding that branding strategy without a very strong business model cannot continue, cannot exist, and cannot create great success and strong revenue for companies. So VD Global Partners, my current company, is basically, I would say, the result of my understanding that numbers drive success.
Sure.
And so branding. So by creating this strong community between these 2 pillars, I aim to help my customers to become the Michael Jordan or Versace or Dolce Gabbana of their own field.
Yeah, thank you so much. It seems like you've done so much and yet you've done so less, and it seems like you're going more. So thank you so much for that. So tell me, how important is branding to you? Is branding just a brand of, let's say, like a perfume or something, or is it more than that?
Branding is everything, Girish. the reasons we are here today is because of branding, right? Because of the way we brand ourselves, people respond to us a certain way, right? When we think about branding from the inception of the world, the reason we still know about Coco Chanel and talking about fashion for over 100 years, why do we know? Because of the power of branding. Now, what's interesting to mention, back in the day, branding, the concept of branding itself did not exist, right? But organically, people were doing branding. Even if you look at the Bible, right? Whether you believe or not in religion, but because we know about the Bible and about all these incredible individuals who created the world because of branding, right? So I think that when people say, oh, branding, we don't need branding. Well, branding exists organically. Now, it depends what we do with it. If we are very precise and passionate about creating a very profound and well-structured brand strategy, then more people will find out about us. The reason we build friendships on social media is because of our organic branding, right? People are drawn to us based on how we portray ourselves. And again, whether we are a personal brand or a corporation, is the way we put ourselves out there. The responsibility and the accountability factor that comes with branding will attract the right power circle or the wrong power circle, the right customer service or the not necessarily the perfect customer for us. So it's something that we have to be very mindful about, especially now in the digital era, where with the click of a button, people have access to most of us. So that's how.
So let me ask you this: from a, let's say, from a business point of view, is it more important to advertise yourself and your company, or the brand and what you believe in?
I would say the concept of personal brand itself, right? People think it's personal. I don't look at personal brand as necessarily reflecting specifically who we are on a personal level. Even more so, I would say is about 80% our professional credibility and expertise and about 20% our personal that comes into the equation. Why do I say that? We live in a very, how can I put it, materialistic world, right? Where success, the idea of success and having power and influence drives the world. Whether it's the right direction or not, whether we like it or not, that's the direction we are going into. So the reason I would say credibility and expertise have to be leaders with our personal brand is because that's what drives the world continuously. Right now, when it comes to us attracting friendships or meaningful strategic partnerships or business relationships, I would say at that moment the personal element and what defines us as being a human being that come into the equation as well. For me, I try to, with my personal brand, to stay away as much as I can from my personal life and focus very much on my credibility, expertise, and about 20% of who I am on a personal level, my passions, my hobbies are reflected in on social media platforms, because I truly believe that we should maintain our privacy as well and kind of lead with who we are as credible experts. It's my personal perspective. Of course. Now, authenticity, Girish, we hear so much about the power of authenticity, especially now post-pandemic. People are drawn to the idea of being authentic. But that implies that we are being authentic with our work as well, not just who we are as human beings. So authenticity, professional authenticity matters just as much.
So thank you for that, by the way. So now we're talking from the business point of view and marketing point of view, right? But what about personal life? Do you think we should be branding ourselves in our personal life also?
I would say our passions and hobbies create that emotional connection and the bridge with our consumers. When we, instance, let's take an example, right? Elon Musk, which I absolutely adore. Elon Musk is very well known as a sensational, intelligent, a genius of our times and beyond. But I feel like lately we see him wearing Tom Ford. He came to the Met Gala. He's wearing Tom Ford, not just any designer. Right there is the personal touch that attracts a certain type of customer or followers as well, right? Now, people who are in the fashion world, they respect him probably even more because, wow, he wears Tom Ford. He's so well put together when he makes his appearance somewhere, right? At an event. So those are elements that actually create that emotional connection between him and ourselves on a different level, right? credibility, expertise. He's a tremendous engineer. He always says, stop calling me a businessman. I'm an incredible engineer, which he is, right? But that emotional connection is also established because he showcases a bit of his personal life,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The person he's dating obviously is, I call her a rock star because she is a rock star, right? Such a profound individual. However, I think it's very important to keep your privacy. Just highlighting a couple of things about your personal life that create that bridge of connection with others. But stop right there. Don't just go too deep into what your family is all about. What about if your children 5 years from now, they tell you, why did you put me on social media? I didn't want to be there.
That's right.
Or maybe our friends. I do have friends, Girish, who don't ever want to post a picture of ourselves on social media, and I have to respect that,
Sure,
right?
sure.
They might be instrumental in my life or maybe my development as a professional, but if this is their choice, we must respect that. So I would say stay more subdued with your private life and who you are as a person. Now, your hobbies, if you love to work out, if you love to swim, if you love fashion, those are part of your personal perspective that are welcomed across social media platforms. The rest, as far as I'm concerned, I would stay more private with, because people have the tendency to judge that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give me 1 second. Let me just talk to my audience 1 second here. So today we talked about branding and how she says that you have to be authentic to yourself, to your soul, to brand yourself. Now, it could be family, could be business, or anything else. But just be truthful to yourself, because people are very judgy now. People can see from your eyes and your voice and your pictures what you're posting. So just be truthful to yourself. That is all I'm saying. Branding is all about being truth. And that's what we're trying to do here in Back to Basics also at the same time. So hopefully you follow my brand at the same time. So, Virgilia, so you have done so much. And you have so much of knowledge, and you created this monster of your company there. What is the next 5 to 10 years for you?
The next 5 to 10 years for me, first, I would love to publish my second book on branding. I want people to truly look at branding as an ally, not be intimidated by it. And I think that by putting a book out there that is not too specific to a certain niche audience, just to create a better understanding for people what branding truly is and how it can help us to shape our life, not only our professional life, but even our personal life. In the next 5 to 10 years, I would love for VV Global Partners to become a hub, I would say a lifestyle hub for tremendous brands from all over the world to forge strategic partnerships. The reason I went global is because we are living in a globalized world. And now more than ever, the idea that we are one becomes so instrumental in reshaping the world.
Right.
And hopefully the world will reshape itself into a direction where it will become more collaborative. We will understand that there's no competition out there. We have to work together. And it's interesting, Girish, because when I started to go on Clubhouse, a lot of people say, why do you bring to your rooms your competitors? And I say, I don't see competitors anywhere.
No.
I do see people who are complementary, people who share the same passion for branding and marketing. Each of us, we bring our uniqueness into the equation, and we create, I would say, a community of branding experts. So I see VV Global Partners as becoming this epicenter of tremendous experts and global brands coming together, identifying how they can collaborate. They can forge strategic partnerships that are revenue generating, and not just that, but even more so generating communities that feel passionate about pursuing their dreams, their goals, and also impacting the world. Because Girish, the way I look at myself and VV Global Partners in 5 to 10 years from now, I want to see how did I contribute to making the world a better place. Yeah. Whether on a micro level or macro level, we have to contribute. We have a duty on this earth. We did not come here just to take. We were born to give, right? And I think the next 5-10 years of my life, I want to also understand as a human being how I can give back, how I can impact change, how I can contribute to create certain, I would say, minimal and large changes on a local scale, on a global scale, that can make people happier, more successful.
That's right.
And I think each of us has the power to do that. We just have to just pick our lane, stay with it, stay very focused, just like Michael Jordan did. And Girish, the reason I always bring Michael Jordan into the equation in every interview, he is just, I would say, the best example of what personal branding means. Every detail of what makes Michael Jordan exceptional has been thought through. He did not just show up any type of way.
That's right.
See him when he speaks at an event, he's flawless. His restaurants look impeccable. The staff is impeccable. His sneakers line, the way he showed up on court, the way he speaks, right? He is very much in tune and understands who he is, what he stands for, and the value that he wants to provide to society. And he stays very true to that. So I love that about Michael Jordan.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope I'll be part of your hub eventually, and hopefully we'll try to be one big brand and try to work together also at the same time. So thank you for that. So before you leave today, do you have any last words on Back to Basics before you leave today regarding branding or anything else about your life there? Yeah.
Sure. So social media platforms are not a playground. They are our digital business card. And I would love for everyone to take this seriously. A lot of times I see people who are successful, they're in their 40s, 50s, and they crack jokes or say some inappropriate things on social media. We have to be very mindful now more than ever that every piece of content we put out there, every comment we post under someone's photo, the way we interact with others is a testimonial of who we are as a human being, as a professional. So take social media platforms very, very seriously. Ensure that the best version of yourself is projected out there. And for myself, I want to take the advice for myself as well, and just to be mindful about how I reshape my social media platforms. I'm currently actually reworking my website and my platforms because I want to ensure that people get value and don't feel like they're wasting their time while tapping on some type of content out there. So it's for all of us. Just perceive social media platforms as our ally, but ensure that the best version of ourselves is there to do justice to ourselves and to the ones who follow us or work with us or try to emulate us or get inspired by us.
Yeah, Virgilia, thank you so much for coming on my show to make this brighter for me. I think I've learned so much within those few minutes with you and talking about branding and marketing and how to portray yourself in public and not in public. So it is very, very important. I totally understand that. So thank you so much for coming here and giving me some insights on that.
It's been a pleasure, Girish, and I'm looking forward to reconnect on Clubhouse and also take our collaboration further.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. My pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for that.
Have a great day.
So guys, today we spoke